Much to the relief of everybody here, Isaac is finally leaving town, but not without leaving New Orleans very wet and battered and largely dark. Hundreds of thousands of people will head into the holiday weekend without power. And here is the satellite map tonight as Isaac slowly churns north after more than 24 hours of just driving rain. Still some powerful squalls on the tail end of this departure. And here's some fresh pictures from one of the most desperate places in Isaac's wake, Laplace, Louisiana, where water blown out of Lake Pontchartrain led to the evacuation of hundreds of families by bus, by boat. This follows also a day of rooftop rescues in the southern reaches of this area, much smaller than Katrina, but still an eerie example of history repeating itself. In this part of Louisiana, a lot of folks keep axes in their attics, and exactly 7 years after Katrina, Fred Leslie is another reminder why. Fred didn't have an axe and had to be cut out and plucked off his roof in Plaquemine Parish today. A harrowing experience for the 70-year-old and his beloved dogs. Of course, in hindsight, it would have been a lot easier for Fred to just leave when the evacuation order came down earlier in the week. But for storm-hardened lifers down here and older folks fond of home, it's hard to get too motivated about a Category 1 like Isaac, even when the president of the nation
Now's not the time to tempt fate.
And the parish is urging you to go.
We need you to move quickly and orderly and safely.
And the Crescent City has 14 billion reasons to ride it out. That's how much tax money was spent shoring up the levees that so famously failed, making the rooftop rescue a sad hallmark of this proud city. Here's just a little sample of what they got for those $14 billion. Brand spanking new mighty fortresses against the surging stormwaters. And you can see these federal levees are doing their jobs. But just down the Mississippi are old earthen levees, only about 8 feet high, which were no match even for this Category 1 storm. Sometime in the night, the surging water either topped or breached those old levees, and the rural suburb of Braithwaite woke up with the realization that their homes were drowning, and fast.
We had to break through the ceiling and come through the attic, and they took us out of the attic into the boat. It's very bad down there, very bad.
I lived in Braithwaite for 53 years, and this is my first time seeing something like this. This ain't never, ever happened to us. Now, this is a shame.
Some were rescued by game wardens, others relying on the kindness of strangers, like Jesse Schaefer, the third and fourth. After watching 12 feet of rising water swallow their home in less than an hour, the father-son Samaritans jumped into their fishing boats in the pre-dawn dark and went hunting for the helpless. Each says he saved around 60 people and dozens of pets, but it is the cries of the children they'll remember most.
3 kids that we saw screaming on top of that roof, and we were screaming their lungs out when we passed, so we wouldn't miss them, you know.
When they came across 10 people on one roof, the younger Schaefer gave up his seat on his own boat to make room for the old and sick, and had to wait to be rescued himself.
When I was sitting on that roof for an hour today to give someone my spot in the boat, I was like, I'll sit here in a hurricane on a roof and hurricane winds, risking my life for someone else.
We rescued a lot of people, saw a lot of things that you never thought you'd see.
Sorry.
And it'll be a while before Plaquemine is dry again, the whole Gulf Coast for that matter. Isaac may not have brought the blockbuster winds, but he brought way too much water to a region already saturated by a wet month.
And look at this, Highway 90.
And Extreme Weather Team member Ginger Z is getting a first-hand glimpse across the border in Mississippi.
The rain here in Pass Christian is absolutely relentless. You can see a mailbox there almost covered already. This is still the beginning of the rain. This will go on for days, and that's why up to 20 inches could be found across the Gulf of Mexico.
Not sure we're going to be able to get through this part.
And ABC's Ryan Owens didn't exactly need to step on the gas to follow the soggy eye of Isaac through Louisiana towards America's heartland.
The storm is moving so painfully slow that just by driving at normal speeds, we've actually breached the eye wall. So now we're into some of the more difficult weather. You can see it's pouring outside, the car's blowing around a little bit as we come closer to some of those hurricane-force winds.
Boy, what some of the folks in the drought-stricken Midwest wouldn't give for some of this water, right? President Obama did declare Louisiana and Mississippi disaster areas tonight, so that'll open up some federal money for the folks down here. And 95% of the oil wells out in the Gulf of Mexico still shut down. Gas has gone up about 9 cents in the past week, so Isaac may find its way into your wallet eventually that way.